All right, our objective today is I can state my opinion and give 5 reasons to support it, to tell why I have that opinion. Our DOL, our show off, is that given a prompt or question, you can write 5 sentence paragraph that states your opinion and gives reasons. Remember, when we're stating our opinion, not everyone has the same opinion. So we have to be open-minded and we have to respect everyone's opinions. We're working on our communication skills by writing our opinion today. The central idea we're working on is people communicate in a variety of ways to express themselves. We're going to communicate our opinion to express how we think or feel today in our writing. We're working through the forms of expression, and our big question is how do people express themselves in unique or special ways? We're working on the form of a paragraph. Form, what is it like? We know the form of a paragraph very well. It helps us to organize our writing and make it neat and easy to understand. There are 5 parts to our paragraph. Say them with me. Topic sentence, first big idea, next big idea, last big idea, and a closing sentence. Remember, our topic sentence and our closing sentence are kind of like the main idea. It tells the reader what the writing is mostly about. Remember, fact and opinion are very different. A fact is something that you can prove. It is true and it is always true. An opinion is how you think or how you feel about something. So today we're going to focus on our opinion, how we think or feel about the story that we're about to read. Our story that we're going to read today is called, Do You Really Want a Horse? And that matches the question we're going to answer. Do you think a horse would be a good pet? Be sure to use text evidence, reasons from the text, to give reasons why or why not. So, some of you probably already have in your mind if yes, you would think a horse would be a good pet, or no, it would not be a good pet. But let's listen to the story first before we make our decision on whether or not we think that a horse would be a good pet or not a good pet. So what we're going to do is we're going to listen to the story. As we're listening, I want you to be thinking about whether or not it would be a good idea to have this horse or not. And then when the second time we read, we're going to take some notes together. Listen carefully to the story.
Do you really want a horse? So you say you want a horse. You really, really want a horse. But do you really want a horse? If you have a horse, you'll need a pasture. If you don't have one, your horse will graze around the neighborhood. Your horse is eating my flower garden. The horse will need a field of grass and weeds about as big as a soccer field. To her, the pasture is one big buffet. She'll also need water and shelter. That can be a barn or a shed. Finally, she'll need a friend. You. Do you like trotting on trails, leaping over fences, racing around barrels? Your horse will, with you on her back. You can ride together for fun and exercise, or for sport. If you compete in rodeo or riding events, your horse will be more than a pet. She'll be a teammate. Be a good teammate. Practice together as much as you can. While riding, be gentle but clear. She will listen. Be positive. She likes pats on the back, kind words, and treats, just like you do after a job well done. If you don't do this, she'll be offended. Really, you couldn't do it alone. Luckily, your horse has your back. I'd like to see her jump those fences without me. All that running and jumping makes your horse hungry. She'll need extra nutrition, oats and corn. Don't forget the treat. Yay, apples. You'll need to do other things to keep your horse healthy too. Clean her hooves, clip her nails, groom her, see a vet regularly, make sure she gets shots. She won't like all of these, but if you don't take care of her, she could get sick. I'm a little horse. Even when she's healthy, be careful around your horse. Don't sneak up on her. Approach your horse from the side, not the front or behind. Talk to her as you come near. If something spooks her, reassure her. Remember, you're a team. Was that a lion? It's just a cat. You're okay, girl. In cold weather, keep an eye on your horse. When the ground freezes, provide bales of hay in the field. In winter, she'll grow a heavy coat of fur. But on very cold days, a blanket is nice. In the hot summer, make sure she has shade. Cool her with a wet sponge. Provide lots of water. Horses are a lot of work. But you will always be happy to see you. And, you know who will always be happy to see you and give you a ride anywhere you want to go. Your horse. So, if you're willing to feed, water, groom, provide shelter and pasture, and spend time with your horse, then maybe you really do want a horse. Now I have a question for the horse. You say you want a person. You really, really want a person. But do you really want a person?
All right, so this story had some really good points for why you maybe would want a horse as a pet and why maybe you would not want a horse as a pet. Go ahead and get out your journals. And on the next slide, press that little arrow. And on the next slide, we're going to write together our opinion of whether or not we should have a horse or if we should not have a horse as a pet.